Hey loves, I'm Squid.
And I'm Cheer, and you're listening to
Not Your Pick Me,
a podcast that highlights gamers and content creators who are breaking barriers in hopes of making gaming and streaming communities safer and more inclusive spaces for everyone.
Stick around for some hilarious yet educational content. And just remember, no matter how much you want us to be, we're not your pick me. All right, everyone. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Not Your Pick Me. Today's episode focuses on Black women in the gaming and streaming community. Today, we have our special guests, ShawnJGaming and Jay Shale. Shawna is known for her tournaments, events, and more recently competed in a captain spot for World Series of Warzone. Jay Shale is known for her phenomenal DJing skills on an international platform as well as Twitch, while tearing up COD lobbies on the side. We had the pleasure of getting to meet them while attending the Call of Duty Vanguard event in LA this past November, and we're really looking forward to hearing about their experiences as Black women in streaming and the gaming community. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourself?
What's goody, everybody? I go by the name of Jay Shale, a.k.a. DJ Shale, a.k.a. your boo's favorite DJ. Thank you so much for that intro, Squid, and thank you so much for that intro, Cheer. Listen, I DJ. I just recently got into Twitch over quarantine because my world of being outside turned into not being outside anymore, unfortunately. And that's how I came across the super dope Twitch community, realized that there is a DJing community. And then one of my really good friends introduced me to Warzone, because what else is there to do when you're stuck in the house all day besides play video games? And I totally fell in love with the game and started thinking that I was just going to be like a casual gamer, but I'm extremely competitive, being a previous athlete, and I don't know what kind of chokehold Warzone has on me now, but now I'm officially on the PC. I've got my stuff connected. I have the camera. I have all the good stuff, and sometimes outside of my DJ streams, I do stream Warzone. So back to what Squid was saying in regards to, a little bit on the side. It's just, here and there, and then I'll, team up with Shawna and we'll kick some ass. Back to you, Shawna.
So like Jay said, I play Warzone. We've been playing Warzone together for the past couple months now. I just turned 26 recently. I mainly just upload, stream, play Call of Duty. That's just, my love. I've been doing this since probably World War II. I think that I will say that's when I first started, making content. And these past couple years, that's all I've been doing. And and like Squid said recently, I was a captain for World Series of Warzone. And yeah.
So awesome. Why don't we just freaking jump right into it? So we obviously have dealt with a lot on stream. There's been a lot going on with Twitch lately with just people being terrible because they're locked in the house and bored and want to be mean for no reason. What has your guys' experiences been with, misogyny, sexism, racism while streaming? How do you deal with it, and what has your experience been?
Well, I'll say, especially during quarantine, you guys know the hate rate stuff started. I got hate rated quite a bit. Twitch has implemented, some security stuff now, so that's not really going on much. But, just, 1,000 bots coming in your chat, spamming messages, calling you all types of names and stuff. That's just the type of stuff that I've experienced. And even before the hate raids, every now and then, just a random, bot will come and chat, saying things that they shouldn't be saying, obviously. The way I deal with it is, I just brush it off. I ban and block people so easily. So that's just really how I deal with it. I feel like I have just a strong personality when it comes to that. So that type of stuff doesn't bother me. People calling me names, I get called names in Call of Duty lobbies all the time. I sit there and laugh at it. So yeah, that's been pretty much my experience with that.
I feel that. I'm kind of the same way, where I don't let the things they say to me bother me, but I always play with my food before I ban it. I just argue with them and yell at them. And
yeah, I know some people like to,
it's for fun.
A little tease or whatever, but I just literally instantly I'm just ban. I don't even feel like talking to these people. It's pointless.
Sometimes I don't even know if I have enough time.
Right.
My mods are on it so fast that I didn't even know that something was said.
Now my mods
You're
like
welcome.
to entertain. AKA Jay.
Okay, let's address this right now, because I had to learn how to ban in Shauna's stream. I did not know.
I made her mod, didn't tell her anything about it.
I didn't know. I'm like, I just have an extra little square next to my name. Cool. I don't know what this means. And then I found out that I was a mod. And then it was actually during the World Series of Warzone where people were coming in saying some really sideways stuff. And I was like, type. I was like, wait, I'm a mod. I can do something. I don't know what it is. So I went to Google. How do I pull up Twitch mod view? I was like, okay, there we go. By the time I got to it, some of her other mods had already blocked them. So I was like, all right, well, I'll just sit here and wait because I hope nobody else comes in being terrible. But, it's kind of going. So I'm like, all right. So here comes the next one. I literally go over to click the ban button. It said, ShawnJ had banned this person. And I was like, how are you banning this person faster than I'm banning this person? So I'm just sitting here with like my mouse just hovering over the ban button, just like, I don't know, because there was one person that came in that I thought, because I like to give people the benefit of the doubt that might just, it's just my personality in general. And so they came in and asked, how did Shawna become a captain? So me giving people the benefit of the doubt, I was like, oh, well, because she's awesome and she was selected to be a captain. And then they came in and started saying some really inappropriate stuff about, diversity thing, hire or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And that's when I was like, all right, where's that button? Ban. And I was like, period. I just banned my first person. I'm on a roll now. Anybody else come in here say something sideways? So all that to say, that is a story behind. I wasn't necessarily playing with the food. I was just trying to give somebody the benefit of the doubt. Like maybe they aren't, but they were, because they usually are. So now
we know better now.
Now I'm a pro in mod view with the ban button.
I love that. Do you think, Jay, that do you have mods in your chat with
I've
the
not
DJ?
known how to assign them. I just recently learned about giving people VIP things. So, checking one thing off the list, so I still haven't given all the people VIP status that I've been needing to. So you said what?
No.
What'd you say?
I said I better get a wrench. That's what I said.
A wrench. That's the mod.
Better make me a
That's
mod.
the mod. Okay, yeah. See, we're here. Okay, we're here. But so not yet, but I have to. Yes.
People are really nice in her stream.
They are.
She has such a good community.
And I was gonna say, I've been fortunate, and I okay. Don't want to age myself here as if I'm just so old, but I feel like I'm old. So I'm 28, right? And my niche market is adults, grown, mature adults that like listening to old school classics and just really good music. So most people in my stream have a good head on their shoulders because they're not 12-year-old boys trying to be whatever toxic and what's the word that the cringe,
whatever they are,
trolls.
That's what my fan base is.
No, that's not your fan base. Your fan base,
not my fan base, but
no,
yeah, that's the type of people that come
fan
in
base.
That's because of the game I play. I get a lot of younger children that come and chat, and it's just yeah.
So, like I said, my crowd is working adults that after work will unwind, with some music on my stream, stuff like that. Sometimes when I have midday streams, because it depends on my travel schedule. Now that things are opening back up again, I'm not able to stream as much. But I'll have like midday streams, and so they'll be like on their lunch break. So I have grown-ass people, in my chat. So the type, most people that will come into my stream, when they do come into my stream and say like some sideways stuff, I've been asked about my sexuality. I've been asked, how can I DJ without headphones on? But I get asked that off stream also. That's just a question. I'm like, I have eyes and I can see the wavelengths. And we're not in the era of just vinyl anymore. It's just a little bit different. You can literally see the song as it moves. But, I don't have the time to address those people anymore. So those kind of comments or, comparing me to like male counterparts or, like I know somebody came into the stream because like Drake's DJ was streaming one day and they were like, haha, Drake's DJ streaming right now and has this many viewers. And I'm like, okay, it's also Drake's DJ. Like, I'm me. I don't DJ for anybody but myself. And I have these many people here, so back to what Shawna was saying, I am blessed to have, especially learning all about Twitch, to have a really positive and uplifting community that when somebody does come in and even begins to say anything, even though they don't have mod designated wrenches, they'll come in and be like, who the fuck are you? What if you don't like it, you can get out. Bye.
I've noticed that a lot. I think a lot of people in my stream will do that too. It's like people come in and they're like, excuse me, what?
Who are you talking to?
obviously you didn't read the room here because
Right.
you
Or
were
you
not
didn't,
welcome.
before you click chat where it tells you the rules, you clearly didn't read those rules either. So let me tell you about them.
It's also a difference in like the vibe people are looking for. Because
Right.
if you're looking for a music stream, you just want to hang out and chill. If you're looking for a video game stream, you want to watch people like rage, typically, especially if you're looking for Call of Duty. So like,
Yeah, I feel like my viewers want to watch me slay out for the most part. If I don't look over and read chat, well, nobody's going to watch my stream because they're going to be like, this person doesn't talk to their chat at all. You know, if I never read my messages and stuff. I'm pretty sure Jay could literally I mean, Jay's always talking because she's DJing. But at the same time, it's not like, you know, she has to sit there and, you know, consistently read chat, even though she does. But
I was about to say I do. And I'm just like,
yeah, I was like, you
DJ screen over here, chat screen over here. No, I mean, I can definitely understand that. You know, that's something that I have noticed with me just even watching other streamers is that people will comment on if the gaming streamer talks to their chat. You know what I'm saying? And I guess that's, like Shawna said, a bit of a difference also in our streaming fields. Because, I mean, if I'm playing music, because there are other DJs, even outside of just on the streaming thing, that don't talk on the mic. They're scared to talk on the mic. So I feel like people are already used to either people will be on the mic when they're DJing or they won't be on the mic where they're DJing. So I do try to make the effort to at least do both. You know what I'm saying? Because I am thankful for the people that are there. But I think it's a little bit easier for me to, you know, chat with the people in my stream. Like if I'm not changing a song every 5 seconds, you know what I'm saying? Versus where Shawna, if she's in the trenches, she's not going to be like, hold on, there's somebody on top of hospital, but hey, Johnny, welcome to, you know, she's not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that definitely makes it a little bit more difficult, you know, in the different fields that we're in. Whereas for me, if a song is playing, it can be playing for a minute straight and I'm not changing the song to the next chorus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I definitely have noticed that people, you know, get upset when it's like, hold on, like there's a lot going on here all at once.
I mean, and no matter your size, I think people just have trouble understanding the fact that at the end of the day, I'm trying to be the best I can be on the game. So I had to make a command, literally. It's called focus. You know, hey, I'm focused. I can't read chat right now. But when I get out of the situation, when I got a chance, maybe I'm running, we're just, you know, rotating, whatever we're doing, I'll look over and say something to the chat. And, you know, I do my best to, you know, stay as interactive while I'm trying to be competitive as well. So,
and I think you do a really good job of that. Because, like, for me, when I do my gaming streams, because I'm used to talking so much on DJing, I feel like I overtalk on the gaming streams. And I'm like, okay, let me stop.
I'd be like, Jay, can you unmute your mic? Can we play the game?
And I'm like, my bad.
And she's over here having story time in the middle of the trenches, but that's neither here nor there.
Because they'll ask me a question.
Story
I'm like, well,
time.
let me tell you a story.
We're fighting. And
Pew,
she's
pew.
standing in a corner telling a story, bro.
Listen, I'm not in a corner. I'm just running and not having any communication with you. But yeah, so I'm learning. You know, it's a balance. It's a balance.
That's really interesting because, like, I hadn't thought about that much because, like, Shawna, you are way more competitive, especially more than Cheer and I. Like, we enjoy winning, but we definitely goof around way more often.
I can if okay, I'm all for goofing around if we are slaying out. But if we are getting our cheeks tossed, there is nothing funny. You need to focus up and let's play this game. But that's just my energy. That's why I said my energy is very aggressive on the game.
No, it's really interesting because I think I didn't think about that much because people do come on Twitch a lot to like have that community and have that conversation. And if they're not able to make those like conversations within chat, they're expecting the streamer to keep that conversation with them. But when you're playing a game and you're as like competitive as you are and have the ability to like do well in these tournaments and get invited to tournaments and things like that, where you're able to actually make a lot of your income as well. Like people don't think of that. They don't think that like you are training in a way.
Yeah. I'm like even like sometimes mid-tournament people come in the chat like, hey, can I play? And I'm just like, you know, it's not even a being rude thing. It's just like, you know, maybe you didn't read the room because no, you can't play. I'm in the middle of a tournament. And then it's like, well, you didn't have to say that. I did have to say that. You're not just about to, you know, join my game and stuff. But I mean, my chat usually handles it. They make sure they interact with each other and stuff. Like while I'm, you know, locked in, then I come back and I literally go back in the chat and read stuff that I missed so that, you know, they feel, you know, appreciated, seen and all that. Because I mean, I do appreciate anybody that chills in the stream. So.
All right, Cheer, you want to move on to the next?
Yeah. So this question's more for Shawn J. Tell us more about things that have happened like in tournaments. Like What have your favorite moments been? What have like memorable things been? Just how is it?
Well, I mean, I don't really have anything too crazy unless like I kill like a bigger person. I think the craziest part about these tournaments is where, you know, we're fighting these bigger streamers. You know, either their chat will come over and be like, "You're insane, can't believe you just got that kill," or it'll be like, you know, "You're cheating," or "You're bad and you got lucky." Stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's a pretty good balance though. I think more recently, I think a lot of the bigger streamers have been like making sure they tell their chats like, don't go over, you know, being hateful, and you know, they'll actually come over and say nice things. I'm like, wow, you guys are actually nice. Like, thank you. Like they'll tell me, you know, good job for, you know, killing them, even though it's their favorite streamer. So, I mean, that's been pretty crazy to watch because obviously I have a smaller community. So when I'm sitting there, you know, 20, 30 viewers, and then I shoot up to, you know, 200 viewers just because I killed somebody, it's like, oh, okay. Like, y'all respect me a little bit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's kind of crazy too, because I feel like if like being a woman who is like streaming and gaming competitively, sometimes like that's where it comes into play. It's like, oh, that woman just destroyed my favorite streamer.
Oh
Excuse
yeah.
me,
So
there's
then,
no
then
way.
there's also the toxic side where hey, maybe it's a bigger streamer and they don't have as nice of a community, and they're like, oh my God, I just died to a girl. And they say things like that on stream, and I'll go back and watch, and I'm just like, interesting comment you made right there, you know?
Yeah.
And I just keep, you know, little mental notes of stuff like that, because then clearly I feel like, you know, you don't respect me, because at this point, you know, people know who I am in these tournaments. So then to just say, oh, I just died to a girl, or call me a B word, you know, something like that, it's like,
I also think it's strange because we're grown-ass women. And from what I've seen, most of the girl streamers that I do watch, girl streamers, they're all adults. So I always think it's interesting when the boys are like, you know, oh, I just died to a girl, or girl this or girl that. And it's just like, we don't sit here and call you, oh, this boy just shot me. Like, I don't know. It's just really strange. And having, you know, played with Shawna over the last couple of months, like I've like what you just mentioned about like the people from their stream coming over, because I'll have her stream up, you know, while we're playing or whatever, doing my mod situation. I like it when they take the time out to say some positive things about her, but then when they like take the time out to say some negative things, it's like, you could have stayed your ass over in that other stream. You don't need to do all that. It's a bit extra. But I'm like, wow, note. So that's something else that the COD community does. Interesting. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And speaking of, like, I've seen, when I'm not seeing Shawna, you shoot your shot at Kaylee on Twitter.
I mean, but like also,
Can you blame her?
we are not blaming you at all.
Have you seen it? Okay, thank you. Kaylee knows what's up.
Oh.
Y'all heard it here first.
Y'all heard it here first. Wait a minute.
But I've witnessed recently like all this drama surrounding like the women in the competitive Warzone scene, and like y'all being like passed on, dropped, people not wanting to team up with you. Like, what has been going on with that?
Okay, this is funny, because in my last interview, they started this. They were just like, tell us about the Doug thing, and they just hopped right in. So I'm glad we worked on some stuff before we got in there. But I mean, honestly, there was really nothing else to it other than it was a tournament where you had to have a woman creator on your team. He messaged me asking me, did I want to play? I said, of course I want to play. And then he started asking me, you know, about Vanguard, you know, if I played. I even sent him some clips of my last tourney where I did good. I knocked out some of the biggest teams in one of these tournaments. And he was just like, you're a no-brainer. Let's get this money. And then a couple hours later, he wrote me and was just like, hey, so sorry. I picked up Scumming in a different third. Let me know if there's anything I can do. And I said, all good. And I just left it at that. And then I quoted eFuse's tweet, and I was like, well, you know, I just got dropped. Anybody still need a female? So then everybody's like, what's going on? We thought you were playing with Doug. And then that's where everybody started, you know, blowing me up and stuff. And then eventually I made a tweet maybe the following day or 2 days later. And I was just like, I just basically just, you know, gave a breakdown of everything that I just explained to you guys. And for some reason that blew up on Twitter because everybody, I guess, thought it was funny. I don't know. But yeah, basically whatever female he picked up, he couldn't play with her. So then he needed another female. And the guy that he picked up left his team an hour before the tournament was supposed to start. So basically his team was in shambles and he had to find a whole new team to play in this tournament. And then everybody just, was just saying, karma, 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 karma. And that was pretty much the summary of that situation.
That's so crazy. That's like absolutely ridiculous to me because like true no brainer. Why at any point would you like, you got Shawna. Why would you sit there and be like, oh?
Everybody was like, wow. Because I actually posted a screenshot because people were thinking that maybe, we played together or I did something wrong. But I was just like, no, my last message to him was literally like, hey, I'm ready to practice. And then after I posted a screenshot, they were like, wow, he called you a no-brainer and then proceeds to drop you immediately after. Like,
so is this the first time that something like that has happened to you, Shawna, or has there been
I
other
haven't.
instances?
This is the first time I guess I've been like dropped, especially because that was like a really big tournament. So it was really public. The last World Series of Warzone, somebody said they were going to play with me. They signed the forms. They did everything. I found out from Activision that this same person signed up with another team and did not tell me that they were leaving. I understand it's a competitive community. People want to leave for the better team, but I think people just need to be more like professional about executing it. Like, don't let me find out from somebody else that you're leaving me to go play with somebody else. And that's usually what it is. Or they want to go play in a different tournament. I've had that happen. Like somebody was on my team, then they got invited to a bigger tournament and they didn't play in the tournament with me. So
I feel like, too, you don't hear all of this drama coming from guys with guys or, like, dudes with dudes. Like, it usually almost always includes, like, a woman being added in or, like, a woman that's, like, being asked to, like, play. And it's almost like now Warzone and Activision and all these different, like, tournament people are like, oh, well, we're going to force you to add in a woman.
A lot of people don't like that, though, because a lot of people, their take is, hey, we want to watch the best of the best. Why are you forcing women to be in there? But then, then there's a conversation of, well, some of these women are the best of the best. And that's why we want them to be seen, because people just don't have that respect for, women gamers. And I mean, I'm completely fine with making sure the women get seen more. So, I mean, I guess you can be mad, but if it's not hurting you, there's no reason to be mad. People are just living their lives, doing their thing. And I mean, I'll be happy for any female that's, getting opportunities for any of these tournaments.
In your guys' opinion, what can the streaming and gaming community do to be better? And do you think it has become more inclusive, like, since you started?
I feel like I always have a couple answers for this kind of question, only because the field that I'm in is a male-dominated space as well, with DJing and then the bigger being the music industry. I strongly dislike, the fact that this is just across the board. I feel like no matter what space you're in, that there's always this big gap between men and women. And, I feel like with the popularity that Warzone in particular has gained over the last year, I think that there, are a lot more men that could, speak up about certain things. I had actually seen this clip on Instagram earlier that was talking about in certain industries, gaming and music, in particular, and that there's a different way that men can kind of champion women versus just being like, yeah, go girls, or yeah, support your women. There's, they can kind of use their platforms a little bit more to speak up and not have such like really general, here queen, here's your crown type, super general statements, and actually make more of an effort to be more inclusive, whether that is regularly playing on stream, with more women, or having, just in general. So that way it's not, people aren't just coming into the streams and seeing that, oh, once it comes tournament time, because the game is now requiring people to have women on their teams, like making it more of like a regular thing to see bigger male streamers play the game with women. I just feel like there's different ways that men should try to find to be more inclusive when it comes to women, instead of women be like, hey guys, why don't you guys try this? Or why don't you guys try that? How about you guys get together and figure out a way, hey, because these women are just as impactful in this community as we are, and clearly there's a gap. So how can we figure out how to lessen that gap? And so I feel like, being that boys are told earlier on that it's okay to play video games than, girls, I feel like there's already like a couple year gap between being able to really develop as a player anyways, which will then give the guys more of an advantage naturally anyways, because if you're encouraged to, as a dude after football practice, go home and go play some football, and as a girl you're encouraged to go read a book, go cook, go do something nice and girly, and video games are for boys, and then you realize later on that you truly have a passion for it. I feel like that just changes the amount of years that you can actually use to develop that skill. And then I feel like this is just so deep that it can like go into life. I'm not gonna get into all that shit.
I noticed recently, even with this tournament, obviously the requirement was that you had a female player. And actually, I think maybe the last like two were, and they were huge tournaments. And afterwards, the teams that won, it was nothing but the pros showering the female players and, calling her the MVP, said like she absolutely did slay the last map, clutched the game up. But like seeing the pro players, especially at the level they are, the type of base they have, just, expressing their gratitude and letting everybody know they would not have won the tournament without their female player. I think like something like that, that was like huge. And I think they even, went and played again and they were able to win some more money like that. Just having moments like that are just natural moments and it's not somebody forcing it. Yeah. That'll, stuff like that'll keep turning the tide. So.
Yeah. And so that's what I'm saying. Like even having squads that, whether it's even a rotation, that will have women in the team when you're just, streaming regularly, when the people that pull up to watch you stream. You know what I'm saying? So
I think it's really interesting too, Jay, because you were mentioning about like how these guys will just kind of do like a go queen or like let's go like women, like support them. Yeah. It's almost like they're even just trying to cover their butts sometimes. It's like they're trying to cover all their areas of just like I support women. I'm not gonna like invite a woman to be on my team, but like they're doing great over there.
Like she's good, but she's not good enough for me. Right.
Just imagine like earlier before they started like requiring women to like play on teams, if there were even just one person that was like, you know what? No, for my squad, I'm going to have so-and-so play, or I'm going to have so-and-so play. And it's going to be us three guys and this one girl. That would have drawn a lot of attention. And other people would have been
it's also about them knowing and actually watching them. Cause they want to, like actually know how the female plays and stuff and not just, picking up around. I completely understand that part. And then I think, Jay, you were talking about, like at the time you start playing games. So, hey, I grew up playing volleyball. I was a full-blown athlete. I wasn't even allowed to play the game during the week. And when I did play the game, I didn't have Call of Duty. So it's not that I haven't been playing games all my life. It's just not a game that I had. So when I got in college and I got this game and I started playing towards the end of, college, like when I was graduating or whatever, it was just like, I was definitely behind the curve because, these guys have been playing since they were little kids. And I just started playing at age 20, whatever. And so obviously I'm still catching up. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. Hey, maybe, some of these guys are at their peak. By no means have I peaked yet because I'm still growing as a player.
Yeah.
So,
and there's also a difference in, growing up Black versus growing up, in other races. So there's already certain differences. And then, it's just like I said, I feel like this is just a whole deep ass thing that, goes
even like deeper. Parents becoming more supportive now.
Yeah.
Even when I started as an adult, my mom was, not supportive. And that's a common thing in the Black community. Black parents not being supportive of their kids gaming. They're like, hey, why are you on the game all day? Go do this, go get a job. I had just graduated college. You got a 4-year degree. Why are you in the house playing video games? And now she's like, stay in the house, play those video games.
Right. So, look at the tables. They always turn, okay?
How the turntables,
Oh, how the turntables. Oh, shit. We made a DJ joke.
Yes. But no, for sure. And that's that people don't understand that there's always layers to something. And, there always are, most times, unfortunately, layers when it comes to, growing up Black or just being Black in general and just in different spaces. I've been trying to figure out what's my niche in like the gaming community because I am nowhere near peak anything come Call of Duty, okay? But I've been trying to figure out why this has like stuck. You know what I'm saying? For me, like, why have I been so stuck on this game so much so that I'm clearly spending thousands of dollars to play the game? And when I first started learning what Twitch was and finding different girls, because I didn't find Shawna until a couple months ago, actually, because obviously, naturally, I feel like this is very common for any Black person that's getting into Call of Duty that starts watching Twitch. The very first person they start watching is Swag, because, you know, he's the most advertised and then obviously the most popular in the Black community as far as who's playing the game. And so I'm like, okay, surely he can't be the only one. And then obviously he plays with Jay Smooth. So I'm like, okay, surely Jay Smooth can't be the only one. All right, let me keep looking. And so kind of having to like dig into the depths of Twitch to find, you know, when I first started, obviously now my suggests, you know, Black people all the time because I follow a lot more Black streamers. But then I started to try to find like Black women streamers. And I'm like, okay, there's one. All right, there we go. Hey. Oh, there's another one. All right, you know, there's a lot more far between, whatever the American saying is, few in between.
Few and far.
Few and far between. I'm not from this country, okay? I'm German, born and raised in Germany. English is my second language. Sometimes I'll be fucking shit up, but then I pretend like I know what I'm saying all the time. Anyways, so trying to find, you know, more Black, and that's then how I came across, you know, Shawna's stream, and I did notice just like all women tournaments were just so small. You know, I think I remember going into Sensei Swisham's stream and she was playing for like a $400, this was a couple months ago, like a $400 tournament. And I'm like, how come there's like these $10, $50, $100,000 tournaments mainly for guys, but then like for like girls, it's significantly less. So I'm like, you know, I feel like maybe that's part of why I was drawn to the game, is to be able to help fund tournaments to, you know, that are more directed towards women and making sure that they have access to the, you know, larger amounts of money to be able to become full-time streamers like a lot of these guys have been. You know, I'm not saying I'm dishing out $100,000 at once. That's not what I'm saying.
Not yet.
But, you know, a couple grand here and there is not going to hurt anybody. You know what I'm saying? But at least getting that into the hands of women so that way they have the opportunity to compete and do the same things, you know, that the guys are doing. So I feel like that's kind of been my space as I've been doing my Twitch research over the last year and noticing, you know, a lot of differences between, you know, prize pools with guys and with women, and then obviously the support that guys get versus the women and stuff like that. So
it's difficult because we try and talk about these things in our stream all the time. Like we try and talk to these people, and we try and like now we like Shawna, Cheer, and I have these connections with Activision too, and like they're trying to include us in things. And I think that whenever I saw that like Shawna was gonna be a World Series of Warzone captain, I literally was like, "Fuck yes." I was
but
like,
the thing is about
God.
Shawna, she's so humble. She was just like, "Yeah, Jay, you know," I said, "Excuse me, let's pause this right the fuck here." Hello, Shawna, are you joking right now? Dude, like, this is huge. I'm sitting here logging onto my fucking BattleNet. Your pictures everywhere. I'm in the game. Your pictures, everybody sees you. Just like, yeah, you know, I just, no. You know, and
like, how do you think that made women feel? Like, especially Black women who play the game to like log on and see you there.
So many messages, and like I'm still like replying from like the instant interaction. And I mean, obviously, I'm beyond grateful. Like stuff like that, you know, gets me all in my feelings. I'm like, wow, these, you know, all of these different, you know, people, young, small, you know, it doesn't matter. Like they're like, I look up to you. Even people that are bigger than me, like, wow, like you are inspiring a lot of people right now. And that, I mean, that is crazy to me.
Yeah. And I feel like naturally as women in general, we just like to downplay things anyways, but especially as Black women, because once again, that could be a whole other story, but it was just important for me to let Shawna know as my friend, like, yo, like, this is not just any fucking thing. Like, this is.
Oh, even the Vanguard reveal event, like, first of all, I mean, like I said, we literally just met each other. And then Jay, I told her about the event.
Like September or October?
Yeah,
no, like September.
It's been a few months, and then we met each other, and we've seen each other like every month since, basically. But literally, she goes, "Oh, that sounds dope. Let me check my schedule, and like you can have a +1. Like I'm gonna be there." And I was just like, "What?" and she up and booked a flight within like the next day. And I'm just like, what? And she's like, no, you're not finna, about to downplay this. Like, this is
right.
huge.
I'm like, this is a huge deal. I'm like, do you have a videographer? Are you at least recording something?
Listen, because she's deep in this. And, I'm just now getting into it. So I'm like, I didn't know. So she's like, so next time, you got to have this, and this. So like having somebody who obviously she has, a different, look on stuff, and she can just keep giving me that free game. It's just been crazy. So, I don't know. I'm very thankful for her. And then, what else did you do? Oh, well, so it was also good for her because, and then she comes out there and she meets her favorite artist and gets a picture with him. I didn't take a picture with anybody. And she gets a picture with Big Sean.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I know. I look at her Instagram every day. Like, is she really got a picture with Big Sean? Like,
because when she told me about it, I was like,
she's just chilling, talking to Big Sean. Like, I was like, what?
Yeah, and the thing was, he suggested the picture. I said, I was gonna ask, but since you said it first, yes.
So you're saying Big Sean has to have a picture with you?
Yes, he did.
Put that on your resume.
I'm saying this is how that interaction went. So I went to the VIP lounge to go get some water. I was getting ready to walk out. In comes Big Sean. He's literally one of my favorite artists, like, ever, right? So I went over, I introduced myself, let him know that I was a DJ. I was like, yo, I'm here supporting my girl, you know what I'm saying? Like, she down there killing it, whooping y'all ass, but that's beside the point. But I just wanted to let you know, like, you're literally one of my favorite artists ever. I told him about, like, my favorite project of his. He, obviously, I don't know if y'all keep up with stuff, but there was, like, drama recently in the news with, like, Kanye West, blah, 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 blah. So I just let him know, like, I think it's really dope that you're continuing to just push through and be true to yourself. I had, like, watched this interview that he did with Jay Shale. Jay Shetty's one of my favorite people because he's just, like, so deep in whatever, blah, blah, blah. So just letting him know, and I just wanted to tell him, like, I think you're really dope, and I really appreciate the art that you continue to put out there, and he's like, yeah, for sure. He's like, yeah, I really appreciate that. He's like, we should get a picture. I said, yes. So he gave it to the security guard. Security guard took the picture. We took one with flash and we took one without flash. The first one was without flash, and then he goes, well, we need to turn the flash on. The security guy goes, I don't know how to turn the flash on. Big Sean grabs my phone, does a little swipe up, does a little flash, gives it back to him.
Oh my God, he touched your phone? You have to sell that.
Honey, he touched my phone. He touched my phone.
That thing has been in a Ziploc bag ever since.
Yeah, like,
you see that fingerprint? That's not mine, okay?
She took it, like, put it to her cheek. She was like, I've touched it.
Right. I can't, look, it's right here. I can't even push the A button anymore. It's not, I can't do it. But then, so then we got the picture or whatever, and then he kept, going and doing his thing. I came back down, was watching, and then I came back up because I went to go talk to Rob, and then as everybody was, like, leaving, like, he was leaving out, and he was just like, it was nice meeting you, and, like, went for a hug. I was like, it was nice meeting you too. So yeah, but back to what we're actually talking about. I just think, and it was actually the very, very first time Shawna and I met because I had a gig, because she said she lives in Orlando. I had a gig in Orlando, and my girlfriend had come with me and one of my really, really good friends, and we all went to dinner and started talking to Shawna, and some of the lingo that she used, only I know because I play the game. So, like, nobody IRL says IRL, okay? So I'm like, okay, Shawna, she is so locked into the game, killing shit. We need to get her out the house more. She needs to get out the house more, because I feel like that's a lot, like, very common, not just with Shawna, right? Just, I feel like in general, because, as streamers, you just put in so many hours, behind the screen that you don't really get a chance to, like, get out much. You know what I'm saying? Because your work
Are you saying we need to touch grass?
I mean, do you know what it smells like? No, I'm just kidding. I
live in New York City. No, I do not.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, just getting out, and we need to get Shawna out. You know what I'm saying? When she told me that some of the friends that we play with, like, one of them she's met in person, one of them she hasn't met in person, they've been playing together for years. I'm like, I wonder how many other streamers have played with people for years and have literally never met them. I'm like, that's insane. Like, her best friend Ray.
There's friendships that people have had for 8 years, then we don't see each other.
And that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Like, her really good friend Ray, like, he came out to Ray the Great went to the Vanguard event, and she told me that was the first time that they had met. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what? Y'all don't hang out in real life? Like, just go see each other or something, you know? So I think that was really good for them as well. But it was just important for me to, like, show her, like, hey, you have support. You have IRL support. You know what I'm saying? So off the game, like, I want to come support, because this is not anything, once again, what she's doing is not anything small, regardless of her having a smaller streamer community or anything like that. Like, the opportunities she's getting, a lot of people would love to have them. And so it's important for me to champion that and to highlight that for her and let her know, yo, like, regardless of what the bots will come into your stream and say, like, you are the shit, and keep getting better and keep playing, you're going to keep getting opportunities like this. So
So, okay, I guess we can go off of that as well about all these amazing things that have been happening. What is the highlight of both of your careers so far?
Well, I mean, clearly the highlight of my career is being a captain for World Series Warzone. Biggest thing that's ever happened to me. And then also being able to play in a reveal event for the new Call of Duty. So, I mean, both of those are just like top tier. Like, I'm like, yo, one day I'm over here standing, you know, Big Sean, playing against Big Sean and Migos. And then, you know, another day I'm, you know, playing against the biggest streamers in the world. Like, and then, and then I go to hang out with Jay for my birthday, and I'm gonna party with Drake. So there's just a lot going on right now in life.
hey man,
you know,
hey man, I may know some people, you know, I don't know.
I kid you not. We ended up at Future's birthday party, and she was just acting like it was the most casual thing. So I guess I've made a friend that is in these spaces that I did. Hey, it wasn't. I was already her friend before I knew. So that's how y'all know it's real, because I didn't know, that she had these type of connections, and then boom, I pull up for my birthday, and Drake is standing next to me. Like, I just.
You know, I told her that I was, like, thankful for her, because so my Twitter had gotten, y'all already know that story. Anyways, whole new Twitter. But
No, they don't know the story. They don't know the story, though. So if you want to share it.
So I'm a DJ, and I post, like, a lot of mini mixes on my socials, and for whatever reason, Twitter was hating, and they decided to suspend my last Twitter account because of the CMA stuff from the mini mix videos that I would post. So I had to start a whole new Twitter. And because I used an old email address, I didn't get the emails that said, hey. I just happened to check one day because I couldn't log into my account anymore. So, so a brand new Twitter as of, I think, earlier this year or last year, something like that. I don't know. I know that a lot of, and I'm not on TikTok. I'm not a TikToker. So I know that a lot of gamers are on Twitter. And that's like, from what I've experienced, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, like that, and like YouTube too, but like the biggest like social platform for like all the streamers and gamers. And so obviously once I found her on Twitch, I ended up following her, stuff like that. She ended up following me back. So I was like, cool, dope. And so I just reached out to her and I was like, hey, like, there's ever a time you just want to have fun on the game, let me know. You know, I'm definitely down to play. And she was just like, you know what, fuck it, you know, and let's play. And so then that's how we ended up becoming friends. And so then I think it might have been 2 or 3 weeks later, we were talking about Instagram or something like that. And then she was like, oh yeah, what's your Instagram? So I told her my Instagram, and she goes, wait a minute, I have like 160 something thousand followers on Instagram. She's like, wait a minute, like,
she's
I didn't
famous.
even,
She's Instagram famous.
she was like, I didn't even know any of this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I don't go into conversations like, hey, I'm Jay, and this is what I do, and this is who I know, you know, like, I just want
Hi, my name's Jay. Here's my follower account.
Right, here's my follower account. Here's who follows me. Here's who touched my phone.
About to hit 1 million on Facebook. Like, hello.
Wow, that's
no
crazy.
way,
That's
dude.
crazy.
Let's go.
She's famous.
Let's go.
She talks about me downplaying stuff. She downplays stuff because why didn't I know you have millions of followers?
Because because what I've noticed is that social media is a social currency. And so I feel like a lot of people judge people based on their follower count, you know, and I feel like kind of makes it difficult to build like genuine relationships with people. So I don't, you know, I don't know. Because I thought she was joking about coming into town for her birthday. And then as it got closer, and then she sent me the confirmation ticket, I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's confirmed. Perfect. My girlfriend was like, hey, have you ever been to a strip club? Shawna was like, no. And I'm like, Atlanta's the city for that. So
You are not wrong.
Yep.
don't worry, Shawna, I'm not going to tell you business like that. We ended up going to the strip club on her birthday, right? And then one of my friends hits me up and he's like, hey, Drake is having a private party at Dave & Buster's, pull up. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, Shawna, would you like to go to this? And she was like, Yes. So I was like, okay, great. Let me call the Uber. Let's go and head out there. And it was actually Drake having a private birthday shindig for Future because it was just Future's birthday like 2 or 3 days before.
I would not stop looking at titties to go
But
see
listen,
Drake,
but that's
personally.
the thing because Shawna wanted to go back the next day and the next day. So we returned the next day and we were only able to return the next day.
But that was because of Drake again.
I was going to say, because he rented out the entire, or not rented, but bought out the entire strip club for privacy. 2 Chainz was there. A couple other people were there to continue the celebration for him just because he's rich and can do that. So then Shawna was able to see her favorite stripper again and engage in activities with, you know what I'm saying, with her favorite dancer who remembered her from the day before. So I was like, I see you, Shawna.
Hell
I see
yeah.
you.
Cut the video.
Hey, oh my bad. That's what that meant. I thought that meant keep talking. No, I'm not from this country. I don't know. Just kidding. So I guess I could kind of go, into my question. I mean, my answer for the question. I've been the official Falcons game day DJ for the last 3 years. So when they first asked me to do that, that was the largest crowd that I'd ever DJed in front of. And it was the Falcons and Saints Thanksgiving game. So it was sold out at 72,000 people. So that's the largest crowd I've DJed in front of. While in Out Green Room, I've DJed for BET, I've DJed for Essence, I've DJed for Novartis, I've DJed for a number of different Fortune 100 companies. In the clubs, I've DJed for Gucci Mane, I've DJed for the Migos, I've DJed for Cardi B. I DJed LeBron James's birthday party that he was having for Kentavious Caldwell Pope. DJed a lot of those events, and then I've also toured by myself as an act. I actually shortly before quarantine kicked in, I was in New Zealand and was supposed to have 3 shows in Australia when they were like, yeah, you may want to go home before you can't go home anymore. I was like, okay. So those shows were postponed to later on in the year, and then COVID did stop and kept fucking going. So then it got postponed to this year, and it's still postponed at this point till next year. So
I love this so
Corona.
much. I love this so much because Jay's over here hyping Shawna up and is like, hey, like, you're doing all these great things, like, you're downplaying it. And Shawna's like, you're downplaying you as well. Like, let's get this straight. Everyone's downplaying themselves.
Yeah,
And,
hear
like,
what this girl is doing, like, clearly on another level.
Hey,
Like,
man, look.
And I was over here in LA being like, do you have any mixes? I'll play them on my stream. And Shauna's like, are you going to give her money for it? And I was like, I thought I was just helping. Like, no, shit, no.
Help
No,
me.
it's all good. It is all
You need
good.
her help.
Yeah.
No, it's the way I look at it is, I feel like my purpose, because to me, music is a universal language. Music is also my love language. It happens to be my sweater. This is not a shameless plug. I just literally put it on today for the video I shot earlier, and then I didn't feel like changing because I took a nap.
The video you
That's just
shot for the hoodies that you're dropping? No? Okay.
That's crazy. I haven't gotten to that one yet, but I need to. Yes. And so, I just love that music brings people together. And like for me, having traveled the world and seeing that everybody just about listens to the same kind of music is just like mind blowing to me. And so I just feel like my purpose is just to make people have a good time. I don't know, like I stumbled into DJing. I never wanted to be a DJ. That's a whole other story. Like I never thought that I would, first of all, I thought I was going to be in the WNBA. Like you couldn't tell me nothing else. I was about to be Lisa Leslie's best friend. That's exactly what it was going to be. Candace Parker, BFFs. By the way, she's really cool also. Really cool person. I'm just gonna throw that in there. Shout out Candace Parker.
Candace, if you're listening right now,
if you're listening, what's up, girl? But yeah, I thought I was gonna be in the WNBA, and then that didn't. We don't have to get into that whole story. But just I'm big on just figuring out what my purpose is in life, and I just think at this point that I'm at now, with me doing 99 different things, and having 99 different interests, is encouraging people to create the life that they want to live, you know, because my parents have been supportive. My mom has always been my number one supporter. But after graduating school, I accepted a job with a pharmaceutical company, and I thought I was going to be a singer. I know I'm like, listen, that's what I'm saying. I've been just doing everything. But that's why I feel like it's part of, you know, honing in on my purpose. Leaving that company, my dad telling me, so you're choosing to leave a salaried 401k pension benefited company to do what? Become a singer? And he was like, you know how many millions of people are trying to do that? What makes you think that you're going to be able to do it? We've had this conversation since, so he knows that I'd be talking about that because that really hurt my feelings, because it really did, because I'm a daddy's girl. But it kind of like pushed me. He has always shown me like tough love, whereas my mom was just like, yay! Oh my God, you colored inside the lines. Oh my God, you're the best ever. You know, like just two totally different types of support from my parents. Just having or reminding myself to be fearless, even though I don't know how. I know where I want to be, but having absolutely no idea how I'm going to get there, but being open to the right kinds of opportunities has helped me mold the life that I want to live. And I'm the first entrepreneur in my family. You know, I feel like my brother games, and I feel like I've kind of shown him like, hey, this is not that far-fetched. Like, you can create the kind of life that you want. Like, you don't have to be stuck in this mold of what people say that a life looks like, you know what I'm saying, or a regular job looks like. Because I don't know how the hell I was going to make money DJing. I thought you could only DJ in the club, and then that was it. And that's not the situation, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's just been my purpose, is just showing people like, hey, you can create the life that you want, and you can do everything that you want to do. I know that's like a very lengthy answer, but I just think it's important for people to know that they can create the life that they want. It's not easy, but you can do it.
Yeah. And you don't have to have shit figured out. You could just fall into things. That's what I hated video games. I started playing as a joke, and now here I am. So I feel you.
I've been winging it. I'm out here just winging it.
Just figuring it out.
Just figuring it out every day.
Just winging it and winning at life, bro. Even when you got people in your ear telling you it ain't gonna work.
Period. You know? Especially then.
And I mean, it could be years. So hey, I've been doing this for years, and hey, it wasn't working for years, and maybe it just started, you know, getting better this past year. But hey, you know, I feel like it was all worth it. All the struggles and stuff that I went through, like, it was, in the long run, it was worth it.
Yeah. Like I was right there with Cheer. I was gaming on the side. I didn't hate games. I love games. I've played them all the time. But being from Alabama and the area that I'm from, like, I had a specific life path that I was supposed to live. And none of that included playing video games, quitting my job, and being gay. So
but here we are. Thriving.
Here we
That's
are.
what I'm saying.
I did my undergrad degree in sports media production, got my master's in higher education administration, had my plan, like, was ready to go, like, was married, like, all that stuff. And that all has completely changed. And I've never been more happy with being able to be who I am. Yep.
Yeah. And I feel like we're in an era where it's easier to do that with the internet. So, you know, whereas some people may not have had the same opportunities years and years ago, I feel like as long as you have access to internet, you can literally do and be anybody you want to be, whether that's a fucking troll or, you know, a really great person. So
True.
Yeah. And then I think a lot of people have this, I get messages all the time. They're like, how do you have the confidence to, like, stream and be yourself? Because obviously I'm a more dominant female, and, like, oh, you know, a lot of these girls streamers, they're thinking like, oh my gosh, I gotta get on stream. I gotta have on this makeup. I gotta be cute. I gotta, you know, make sure. No, I got on and I said, no, you're gonna watch me because of my gameplay, not because you're over here, you know, simping over me, fascinated about all the wrong things. Like, I mean, hey, my streaming career maybe would have gone a little different if I looked more like I did in high school, and, you know, I was portraying to be somebody I'm not, but I want people to love me for who I am, and I'm completely comfortable with the skin that I'm in now. So
I guess, I mean, that kind of goes into a little bit more about, like, being comfortable in your own skin, being who you are and loving who you are, and making sure that when you're streaming, you are yourself. We talk, obviously, this whole podcast is based around not being a pick-me and being your own person, and women aren't the only ones that are pick-me's. Anyone can be a pick-me in any situation. What are some situations that y'all run into?
I'm going to make this answer short and sweet. In my space, especially in the music industry, there are a lot of pick-me's. A lot of women pick-me's. There's one who I'm thinking about in particular, who DJs for an artist, and she will, like, literally play a song and then go in front of the stage and just go twerk and like just go shake her ass and like barely have any clothes on and do what she needs to do. Then goes back around a DJ booth and then the artist will come back and, you know, start doing whatever. And I'm just like, I mean, I'm sure I could do that too. And probably travel the world with my ass hanging out, you know. All right, Sean Treese, I'm gonna need you to pipe it down. All right, I'm gonna need you to pipe it down. I wasn't looking, bro. She is blessed in the front. I am blessed in the back, if you are catching my drift here. But you know, this
oh, the snore.
But no, all that to say, there are definitely a lot of, you know, women, primarily women pick-me's in the industry, unfortunately. And I just think a lot of that can be, you know, just the internet. People want to be seen living their best lives and having these bags and going on these trips and doing all these things. And, you know, guys are willing to pay for that. So the more of a pick-me you are, the easier it is for a guy to spend money on you, you know, so... I'm gonna just leave my answer at that.
Yeah, I mean, I literally, like I just basically said, I just take pride in the fact that, you know, I have gotten the respect from, you know, the bigger streamer, you know, males, and like just the fact that people respect me for my gameplay has nothing to do with them wanting to flirt with me, because for like they know every guy in this community knows better than to, you know, try me on that level. So I think it's just, you know, just about just being respected and respecting yourself. And I mean, hey, more power to you if you do it, but I just take pride in the fact that I didn't have to do those things to get where I am.
I think something too that we've noticed about like pick-me's, it's not even that they always want someone to like flirt with them or like be in love with them. It's just that they feel like they're going to like, they'll even make jokes about their own marginalized communities just to like get a laugh out of it. Yeah. Or like if women see other women on the other team, they're like, oh yeah, you fat bitch or whatever. And you're just like, excuse me, what? Like, you're a woman. Like, why? Where is that there?
I'm like, you know, I died to, you know, another female streamer. Okay, hey, I died to her. But, you know, you go into some other people's chat and they're just like, can't believe I died to her. I should have won that. And like, oh, you should have.
But you did.
Maybe next time. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like sad. I think we were playing together, Squid. We ran into people in a search and destroy lobby, and they were like screaming the N-word at us. And then one of them in the beginning was like, cheer, like I'm your fan. And I was like, you are not my fan if you are hanging around with people screaming that. Mm-hmm. And then she came into my chat and I clicked on her profile and it was a young Black girl. And she was like, oh, those are my friends, like blah, 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 blah. And I had to be like, I'm not playing the game right now. I'm sitting here and I'm telling you, you can't be around that. You can't let them think it's okay and that it's a joke, because they're gonna like
you are part of the problem. Right. I mean, like that's basically what you're letting her know. I mean, I definitely feel like growing up, I mean, I was in private school a majority of my life. So hey, I will say when I was younger, that was a thing that I dealt with, trying to fit in and, you know, like make sure, you know, all the white kids like me, make sure I had all the nice things that the white kids had. And once I, first of all, left private school, I really just got a different outlook and, you know, started loving myself for who I was more, because, you know, I didn't have, you know, people making me feel lesser than, and I didn't have to sit here and listen to, you know, people say that I'm like, hey, it's okay because I put an A on it. No, it's not okay. I'm going to beat your ass. Literally
IRL.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was picked on. I mean, I know it's hard. And I mean, I literally ended up leaving that school after I did end up putting my hands on somebody, but they deserved it. Okay. These white kids at my school, they put toilet water in my water bottle. Mm. Yeah. No, so like, I wasn't necessarily popular. I got picked on. I got bullied, like literally stuffed in locker type stuff. And now here I am, you know, on the game, you know, vibing and stuff. And
now they log into Warzone and see your face.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're like, oh my God, my husband watched. Like, no, get off my Facebook. Get You think I forgot? I didn't. I don't even know how you got here, but you're deleted.
It's very interesting because obviously, like, Cheer and I cannot speak on specific issues and things that, like, you all have experienced personally. But I think that it's really interesting that how that enablism kind of comes into play of, like, whenever you just honestly sometimes are just trying to be safe. Like, you're trying to find a space and feel like you are accepted and included, and you start like sometimes people start doing these enabling type things, and that's where like this pick me type behavior comes in of like, I just want to feel accepted and safe.
That's literally all it is. Like just wanting people to like me. That's what my mom used to say. You want everybody to like you. You need to stop. Everybody doesn't need to like you. You need to go be you and worry about yourself. And that's something, I mean, hey, I still struggle with it to today. Not more so on that part, but just even like on a friend standpoint, it's like, I'm like, oh, are you overdoing it? Do you need to, calm down a little bit? But yeah, that's just.
You're a great friend, Shawna. Don't overthink that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My heart.
But I think everybody that, I think that's something that everybody's working on, should be actively working on, is learning how to really love yourself and love the skin that you're in. What I've learned is that the internet makes it seem like there's a lot more bad people than good people, and that's not how it is IRL. So there's obviously stuff also in real life, but like the volume of people is a lot more people have access to you online than in real life. So
people also get those internet balls where they think they're hidden, so they'll say more things than they would in real life.
Right.
On a more positive note, who do you look up to or admire? Who has influenced you? And who has helped you love yourself for who you are?
When I first started, playing the game, I was actually playing with like Swag, Ocean O'Peasy, Ears. Those were the type of streamers that I was around. That was like back on, what Jay said earlier, finding other Black streamers, content creators. And this was all when everybody was, a little bit smaller. So, hey, I was just on the game, playing with them, chilling. And they were like, hey, you're good enough to upload this game. I mean, it's like, you're out here dropping nukes just like us, get on the content grind and, just see where it takes you. And obviously I was in college at the time, so I was still having to go to class and stuff. And it was a little hard to balance up at first. I started off streaming at first. And then when I finished college, that's when I really got more into, uploading and focusing on my content. So that was, a big inspiration into, my career now. And now he's one of the biggest people in, the gaming space. So that's crazy to think that, that's how my journey started. And then who's influenced me? Like another streamer I look up to is Story Mode Bay. I'll be in her stream and we're just rewatching a show and I'm, fully invested, interacting in chat. Like it's rare, like especially once you start doing your own content and stuff that you have time to go hang out in other people's streams and stuff. Like I used to have so many hours watched on YouTube now. And, now it's like, okay, I can pop in, I can chat for a little bit, whatever. But she's one of those people that it's just kind of like, okay, no, I stayed with it. And I keep watching her and I watch her grow and the things that she does and the opportunities that she gets in the gaming space. Like I really look up to that. Like she was just casting for the Olympics in Tokyo and she's a gaming streamer. Like that's insane to me. So
that's really cool.
Oh, and the last one, who's helped me love myself for who I am? I don't know, myself, honestly. Like especially these past couple of years since I've been out of school, I really kind of feel like I've been, by myself to myself. I didn't really necessarily have a lot of support. I know I have a lot of support now. Please don't get upset with me, guys. I understand that, you guys support me now, but these past couple of years, hey, I didn't feel that support. And that's just, a personal thing that I felt. And I just had to keep, pushing my own self. I had to drive myself with my own motivation because I wasn't necessarily getting it from other people.
That's huge because that's not common. A lot of people wouldn't say themselves. And I think that that's huge because I think everyone should get to that point that like you have helped yourself love yourself the most because like we're the person that we always have. We always will have. And so I'm really glad you just said that. That's huge for you. And that like also shows like where your head is at on things and why you're also being able to be so successful.
Hey.
Like I said, for me, I never thought that I was going to be a DJ. So there weren't really like DJs that I was like watching growing up or, anything like that. I did get the opportunity within my first year of DJing to open up for DJ Jazzy Jeff though. So that's definitely been, I totally forgot to mention that earlier. I've also been on a panel with him since, but that's definitely been a highlight because he's obviously arguably one of the most legendary DJs ever. But to me, Rihanna is the epitome of not boxing yourself in and creating the life that you want to live. I really admire really strong and powerful women, and I feel like she's very strong-minded and very, like, she has a lot of conviction behind the things that she does, and she's an executor. And I think that's what a lot of people in general lack in order to achieve the level of success that they want to achieve, is consistency and that execution behind their thoughts and their ideas. And from what I've seen from an outside standpoint, Rihanna, if you're listening, call me girl, is that, that's something that she's done for herself in her life, so the recent rumors about her being pregnant reminds me of an interview that she had where, an interviewer had asked her, she was like, so when do you think you're going to settle down, have kids, blah, blah, or something? Do you think you're ready for a man? And, her whole response was like, I'm not worried about all that right now. Like, my life is not defined by my relationship or a man or woman for other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing what I want to do right now. And that just really spoke to me, because that's kind of how I feel about, myself, is like, I'm rediscovering, literally within the last year, that I love Warzone, so it's like I'm in a constant state of like rediscovery and allowing that for myself, instead of just like closing that out, because I feel like I should be just focused on this path, and me doing this doesn't mean that I can't do this or that I'm not doing that. So Rihanna definitely has had a big impact in my life in that regard, who has helped me love myself. My answer is like Shawna's is, myself. I feel like, once I got on that path of entrepreneurship and just kind of kept going, it kind of forced me to, especially in the lowest of lows that I've had, broke, overdrafted in an account, a whole bunch of shit, shout out to my dog though, Kyle. He's held me down for the last 8 years. It's my BFF.
I love that your dog's name is Kyle.
Hey man, that's my best friend, okay? My furry best friend.
And get it, Kyle.
Yeah, listen, emotional support to a T. If I'm crying, if I'm happy, like, that guy has been there through heartbreak, everything. So
I'm telling you, I love that was both of y'all's answers. Like,
thanks.
We literally only have ourselves to, like, at the bottom line, like, we have ourselves and we have to love ourselves. Like,
hey, at my lowest of lows, I was definitely all I had. So
yeah, that's
For
what
sure.
I'm saying. So sometimes you're the only person, or it feels like, you're the only person that you can count on. You are all you got. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you have people that truly love and truly care about you, but going out by yourself. So
I hear you. Well, I just wanted to say thank y'all very much for your time and the responses and experiences and personal things that y'all shared with us today. That was really awesome.
thank you for having us.
Yeah, for sure. Something that we do at the end of our podcast, similarly to Twitch, since we are streamers, we want to be able to send the community off to other streamers in hopes of like highlighting their amazing efforts and their amazing streams, and those upcoming creators as well. If there was anyone that you guys could raid right now, who would you say that would be?
man, there's so many.
I know.
Oh, Ray the Great for sure. Hands down, that's my boy.
Oh,
That's my boy.
facts.
But yeah,
Facts.
Ray just, he's a person that is consistently grinding. This man uploads every day, multiple platforms. He's doing the work. It's just all about, timing. So whenever he gets his shine, I would love to see it. But right now, I'm glad that he's still, doing his thing and keeping his head down and being humble. So
For sure. Big shout out Ray the Great. Met him for the Vanguard release thing. Such a sweet person, literally.
Wonderful guy.
Yeah, he was so chill, so nice.
Super cool guy. I would probably have to say my homeboy DJ Artistic. He just has a smaller community on Twitch, but he is doing the thing IRL. But since we're talking about Twitch stuff, definitely would send, a lot more people his way. He's based in California. He's basically Issa Rae's official DJ. He's very California, born and raised California. I believe his dad is a DJ also. And so he has like West Coast Wednesdays on his Twitch where he'll play nothing but like West Coast music, and he'll have like trivia nights, and he's really, really well versed in music. So if I had to get a Twitch community to check out a dope DJ streamer, I would definitely say DJ Artistic.
Thank you everyone for listening. Please make sure to follow our amazing guests on their socials, as well as join our Discord. Follow our raid suggestions, and thank you for listening. And thank you, Shawna and Jay Shale, for hanging out and talking to us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast, Not Your Pick Me, hosted by me, Squid.
And me, Cheer.
Join our community over on the Discord and follow us on Instagram and TikTok for more exclusive content. When you leave a review, tell us about the topics and creators that you want to learn more about.
Our executive producer is Janice Matsko of Empowerment Ventures, and our theme music was created by Brandon Peralta.
Until next time, guys, all my lovin's.
And thanks for hanging out.